Hello, aloha, and hola, my fellow Americans and my fellow Earthlings, and anybody else who might be watching. I am the T, Star-Lord New Thor 7, also known as your Planetary Defense Commander, and I will be your pilot during Hurricane Lane. And I have a special request if you are watching. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I'm going to ask that you say a prayer for the people of Hawaii, and that you sing to the atmosphere, the air, and the hurricane. What I've been singing is Head West, Young Hurricane Lane. And you can add any words you want to the chorus or the verse. And let's see if we can combine free will and predestiny to get this hurricane to just create a big storm in Hawaii. Because what we're looking at now is a multitude of possibilities. Well, basically it can be really, really bad, bad, or not so bad. But the main thing we are worrying about now is rain. Lots of rain. And that will depend on where the core of the storm goes. And so that's why I'm saying now, with so many possibilities, a most westerly track is best. We want it to go west and not that north. And we definitely don't want it to loop over the islands, because whereas most people think of the hurricane winds, it is actually the water that does the most damage and is the most dangerous to people. So that is why I'm asking for everybody to do what you can to sing, chant, and pray that this hurricane continues to go west. Now, what we're looking at here is a whole lot of moisture. I mean, a truck ton. And as we can see, we get a strange, for now, let's call it a pressure pulse that is bubbling up from the bottom, the equatorial electric jet line. So our storm is traveling west, and then it seems to get bumped. But it looks like, if we got lucky, the baseball bat hit the side of it, which will hopefully kick it further to the west. But as you can see, it is a giant lump train of moisture. So hopefully this won't head too far north, because if that whole track of precipitable water tracks over Hawaii and all the islands, it is going to cause some pretty massive flooding. We want to avoid that this evening. It is about 11:30 p.m., August 23rd. And we are watching this situation intently. I should be here with you guys all night. The media has been covering it pretty well during the day today. They have all hands on deck. Your information's been pretty solid. But now everybody's asleep. I will be here with you until probably about 10 a.m. Texas time. I don't know, when people wake up these days, they get really angry, and I can feel it, so it's better if I go to bed and not make videos. This video is not about me. It is about Hawaii and our first possible landfalling hurricane this season. And there are rumors that the Atlantic is waking up. Though few people are listening, I've been saying the Atlantic is going to wake up. And so the situation we are seeing going on in Hawaii is also going on in the West with, let me find it. I got too many tabs open. Uno momento. There we are. We have Typhoon Solik and Typhoon Cimarron back to back. Yes, they look like boobs, but they are dangerous and deadly. And as you can see by the darker color, they have a lot more moisture and rain with them. And these areas have already been incredibly inundated and saturated with rain. the flooding is historic. And so, as the Earth rotates seasonally, so does this pattern. So we're going to see more of these patterns showing up in the Atlantic. And I got a feeling it'll be kind of like overnight, and then it'll last for at least 5 or 6 weeks. So, it's an overall situation that I recommend all Earthlings and Americans start to pay attention to and work together on. But we're staying in this situation, and so right now is kind of the pivot point. Is it going to pivot north? Is it going to continue to kind of go west? Is it going to go northwest? We don't know, and we are watching. Things have been kind of weird, and that's why we are going to do our best to stay on top of it for you, just in case power starts to go out or anything like that in Hawaii. But, like I said, you're already on here. It looks like you got a lot of cloud water, but it is pretty important that this thing goes west, because if it does continue over the island, it's going to bring a whole lot of rain and water. That's why I would think that it's best to stay in a safe zone from winds, but if there's going to be some serious storm surge and rain and flooding, then you're going to want to be north as possible, I believe, to avoid any of the major flooding until the waters can go down. And I can't find the one thing I'm looking for. During this hurricane lane, another thing, lanes, bro, if you're out there, I mean, you need to stop being so mad at men. And so maybe calm the storm down, darling. If you can't, head west, young hurricane lane, towards where the sun sets. So we're hoping to get a little bit more of a harder push from the wind shear to tear this thing to shreds, while it continues to wobble west. And by looking at this, I like our odds. I like our chances. Because it seems to be losing some of its size and shape, and hopefully intensity. And you might have a strong wind shear coming in. Like I said, before I started this video, I actually sang to Hurricane Lane for about a half hour. Yep, I recorded it. When this video is done, I'll try and edit it together for you. And you can listen to it if you want to, if that's your type of thing, but I am asking. I think free will is a thing, and so it ain't gonna hurt to pray and hope and use your imagination positively to affect the goodwill of others. Because this storm is a monster, and is definitely a warning to all people, especially on the mainland, that this could be you in the near future if you're anywhere near the coast. And the weather's going to get more serious and intense, so we should probably start working together as a team, because most of our infrastructure seems to be designed for the 40s or 50s. Let me show you, though. We're going to run through. We're going to go over the rain for this one. I'll just do a rundown, and then I'll wrap this one up. Right now, the GFS has wind speeds at about 82 miles an hour on the Euro. So that is good. Although I might not be close enough. Okay, so what I'm going to show you, the thing that has been concerning me, and this is why we really need 110 in the middle. And this one has it at about 80, 70. So, but the main deal here is rain. And so, I mean, these are some, like 4 inches in an hour. 4 inches every 3 hours is, oh man, I'm like stupid math. 8. 8 would be 24, 25 inches. So yeah, we're talking a record amount of rain. And I just wanted to point out that before, when Hawaii got 50 inches, I said it sounds like Mother Nature's trying to cool down herself. And so I would expect a volcano eruption in the near future. And then the Kilauea volcano erupted. And so, and then I talked about how if we see a hurricane hit Hawaii and drop significant amounts of rain, we might want to look out for another volcano eruption. So we'll continue to gauge how much rain Mother Nature is going to drop on the Hawaii Island. But if it is some pretty majorly significant totals, then I think we have to look out for the possibility of another volcano eruption in the near future. And so, I believe Mr. BBB333 had pointed out the almost secondary storm that is behind, trailing with all that moisture near Hawaii. And so the GFS has kind of a lingering storm after the hurricane, which would bring more trouble. And so now let us check the European model to see. This is now its rainfall estimates. And so right now the European has so far the best scenario, keeping it west, and then the secondary chunk of storm stays far enough to the east, and then looks like Kilauea would get scraped by some heavy rain, and then the volcano would get a dose of heavy rain. But this almost looks like our quote-unquote dream scenario, or you'd get some heavy rain, probably some winds, but nothing too bad. So that's kind of the yin or the yang that we're dealing with here. Kind of like Hawaii technically brushing or getting hit by the side of a hurricane, but dealing with it pretty well. On here, you wouldn't even have that heavy of winds. Or the GFS has kind of like the YouTube Doom model. And like I said, the main thing would be rain. And wind would just complicate things. Yeah, but the GFS has it kind of stopping, stuttering, and then landing on Kilauea for a while. So yeah, we definitely don't want that option. So, like I said, if you can, anywhere you are, say some prayers, sing a song, do a little chanting. In the One Crazy Summer, oddly enough, last year, when I did my video series One Crazy Summer, I used a song by The Strokes called Hawaii, where he goes, oh, he does it way, way, way better. Anyway, but I'm going to be singing and praying tonight for the best case scenario, and we will see what happens. But if we can move things with our mind like Jedis, then that would be good tools to have in our planetary defense belt. Wouldn't you agree? Right, everybody stay cool. Unless being a dick is your thing, then I guess you do you, bro. And I love you. And hang in there. We got this. We all may need to have our Lieutenant Dan moment, though. But really, haven't we had enough of those since